Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will talk about what kind of refugees can sponsor family members. There are three kinds of refugees that can sponsor family members. One being refugee who claimed asylum in the UK, two resettled refugees, and three those who are under the humanitarian protection. The first one, refugees who claimed asylum in the UK. So most refugees in the UK claimed asylum once they have reached the UK. It is clear that they can't sponsor family members. If a refugee becomes a British citizen, however, he or she loses the right to refugee family reunion and will need to apply for family members using a normal immigration rules. So if you want to bring your family member as a refugee, then you've got to be a refugee first. But if you become a British citizen, then you do lose that right of a family reunion, and you need to apply using other forms of immigration rule. The second one is resettled refugees. So there are an increasing number of refugees who have been resettled to the UK under the resettlement scheme, including the Gateway Protection Program and the Mandate Refugee Program and the Syrian Vulnerable Person Resettlement Scheme. So all these schemes are put in place to resettle refugees into the UK. The Home Office guidance confirmed that resettled refugees are eligible for family reunion, providing that they have been recognized as refugees. So as long as you're recognized as refugees and you are being resettled in the UK, you can bring your family under the family reunion. And the third one would be the humanitarian protection. So throughout this video, I have referred to refugees, but what exactly applies to those granted humanitarian protection instead of refugee status? So the migration rule 352FA and 352FG, it runs through parallel provisions for those granted humanitarian protection on or after 30th of August 2005. So if you have been granted humanitarian protection before 30th August 2005 and you like your family to join you, you must have acquired indefinite leave to remain before you can sponsor your family member, and then you will have to rely on the normal immigration rule as well. If you want more guidance on this, you can go and look at the government guidance on family reunion. It is worth having a look. How can I avoid being refused? Well, I can give you some tips. There are some reasons for refusing applications which commonly rise. So careful preparation of an application with these potential reasons for refusal in mind can help to reduce the chances of refusal. Although with some entry clearance posts where the quality of decision is particularly poor and refusal rate is high, even the best and the most thorough application may still be refused. So just make sure that you are carefully prepared for your application. And make sure you have everything that you need. All the documents that the Home Office require from you, make sure you have sent it out to them. The family member is over the age of 18. So if the child seeking entry under the family reunion rule is over the age of 18 at the time of application, or the application is by a parent or grandparent of a refugee, then the application is very likely to be refused. This relationship fall outside the immigration rule on refugee family reunion. So I would advise you, if your child is over the age of 18 and you're seeking a family reunion, then you have to be very careful. An application under the main immigration rule and Appendix FM, as an adult dependent relative, it faces additional hurdle as to be paid for, and very few such applications succeed. So you have to pay for that as well, and not a lot of applications do succeed under that. If these requirements cannot be satisfied, the only other possible way is to rely on human rights argument. So the Home Office guidance, they do confirm that the caseworker must go on in every case to consider whether there are exemption or compassionate circumstances, including the best interest of other children in the family, which warrants a grant to leave to enter or remain outside the immigration rule on Article 8 grounds. This could be that the applicant would be left in a conflict zone or dangerous situation and become destitute on their own, have no other relative, and they could live with or turn to for support in their country, and not leading an independent life, and that the rest of the family intend to travel to the UK. So if you apply and under the Humanitarian Protection Act and it doesn't go through, you can try Article 8, right to family life, right to private family life. You can try out that. However, very few human rights arguments outside the immigration rule ever succeed, but it is important to prepare an application with lots of evidence and explaining all the reasons why the child should be allowed to come to the UK. Also, you have to show approve of family relationships. So the Home Office guidance states that applicants should include the following documents with the application to confirm that they're related as claimed. So if you have any of these and are applying for family reunion, you should include as many of these as you possibly can, as they are very crucial to persuading the Home Office that you are who you say you are. So if you've got your marriage certificate, if you've got traditional marriage ceremony document relating to accommodation or joint purchases, DNA evidence, that's voluntary, birth certificate, adoption orders, original letter from the immigration enforcement, family photograph, wedding invitation, witness statement, communication records like telephone, email, letter, any other evidence indicating the relationship is as claimed, you'll be better off. The best kind of proof of relationship is for a refugee to have mentioned the family member at the time that he or she claimed asylum. So if you mentioned your wherever, if it's your grandma, your child, your wife at the time of your asylum, then you have a more likely chance of winning your case. So usually the statement of evidence form, so if you've mentioned them as well, of the asylum application process includes a lot of questions about your family members. So through that time, if you've mentioned them, then you're on the better side. If you did not mention your family members during the asylum process, you should be able to explain why. For example, because you are concerned about their safety, so it is all right. So if you did not mention them, just explain to the Home Office that it is because of safety concerns that you did not mention them. You also need to show a proof of subsisting relationship, so as well as providing a formal legal relationship of marriage in spouse and partner cases. It is also necessary to show that the relationship is subsisting and that the couple intend to live permanently with one another in the UK. In case where the separation has been fairly brief and the couples have stayed in touch, the requirements may not be too much of a problem in case of prolonged separation, where the couples may have not been able to contact one another. So this can be more of a problem. So evidence in a form of mobile, landline phone records, any physical correspondence, letter or cards, screenshots or transcripts or of text messages, WhatsApp messages or other messaging service, Skype, call logs or equivalent, and any other evidence of financial support such as money or bank transfer can help prove that the child is the relationship is genuine and subsisting. If you also want to show DNA test, you can do that, but you don't really have to. So you do need to show a proof of identity, like I said. You do have a right to appeal against refusal. I will talk about if you've been refused, and I'll talk about that. You have a right to appeal against a refusal, and I will guide you through that as well in my next video. I'll tell you where you can get help making the application, and I'll help you through that. Yes, I will give you lots and lots of websites where you can actually find more stuff, and I'll give you contacts as well, because I have a few contacts. All right then, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.